randomites.
Random.
Is that what we decided to call them?
Yeah, random.
Randomites. Yes. Yeah. We have now. We have it now.
Randomizers.
Randomizers.
Mm-hmm.
My randomites or randomizers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hey, we've just thought of a name for you guys who have consistently followed and listened to our podcast. What name do you like better for yourself? For the Reddit Randos podcast people, do you like to be called the Randomites or the Randomizers?
Or something else.
Yeah. Leave a comment on wherever you're listening on, or even Instagram. We have an Instagram, the Reddit Randos. So leave a comment on what you like better, being called the Randomites or the Randomizers. So I'll post on there so you guys can definitely comment if you like. But yeah, so anyways, if you are new, hi, I'm Rebecca, your host for the Reddit Randos podcast. And tonight I have with me my wonderful co-host and better half, Justin.
Hello.
So he is back from the craziness of last week. And yeah, everything's going good so far, right? Mm-hmm. Grandpa's back home, and he's
good.
Yeah, he's recovering. So, it was a moment there. We were all scared, but everything's pretty good now. Yep. So now he's back with me, and we're gonna do an episode together. And tonight, again, I kind of don't have a specific theme of stories. I kind of just found these crazy ones, and I just wanted to read them to you guys. So, and kind of thought of Justin reacting to them more. So, yeah, we'll find out if we have a theme towards the end of it.
Okay.
So the first one is called, it's from r/Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. Love her stories. There are a lot of pettiness in that subreddit. So this was from 1 year ago, and it's called I Took My House With Me. So it's a little lengthy, but it is good. I promise. Okay, it starts off this is long, so settle in with a drink. You'll want a hard drink and some popcorn. My loss is your gain. I'm going... Right? Already cheesy. Okay. I'm going to start by saying, I don't care if I am the a-hole or not. This isn't that post. My 27 female and my now ex-husband, 32 male, we'll call him Matt, had a great relationship when we were dating. It wasn't until I met his parents, specifically mother, that I had a small idea of what I was actually getting into. When we would see his mom, she would make small comments about what I was wearing. That doesn't just look quite right on you, dear. Or, have you tried to find that in a bigger size? Even though before we would leave the house, Matt always said I looked great. He would still reply to her that it wasn't his favorite look on me. Lots of red flags that I ignored, believing they were no big deal. We had a small wedding ceremony, which I absolutely loved. Matt and I agreed that we felt it more important to save up for a home than to spend thousands of dollars unnecessarily on one-day event, which I agree. My parents paid for the majority of the wedding, while mother-in-law, in true form, would make comments about what she would have done differently. Fast forward to after our wedding, we had bought a beautiful house. I have an amazing job that I love, and the bonus is that I was pulling in 6 figures with it. The house was bought under my name because his credit was horrible. Matt was working, but wasn't making half of what I was. His income never bothered me, but I don't think his parents knew where our money was coming from. They saw was our gorgeous home and assumed he was the main breadwinner. Mother-in-law would make comments to him about how I was a gold digger and I didn't deserve him. I never mentioned it, thinking first of all, I wasn't supposed to hear it, and second, I'm sure he set the record straight. A year into our marriage, Matt's mom, who has been visiting our home quite often by this point, sometimes for weeks at a time, I referred to these visits as, we'll just say Heck Week. H-E double hockey sticks. visits as weeks at a time, brought up moving in with us. We had an right. We had an ADU, aka a granny flat behind the house. I knew they were struggling with their house payment, so I agreed to it until they could find somewhere else that they could comfortably afford. They would be in their own little apartment behind our home and not necessarily living with us, which I don't think is terrible. And I'm glad she put in there that until you can find your own place. So it's not like it's a forever thing. Although she probably should put down how long.
Yep. I'm saying that's not it.
Because they'll just say they're never going to be able to afford another place. Okay, shortly after they moved in, Matt and I set up a vacation in Maui, and he asked if his parents could come with us. I wasn't keen on the idea, but he assured me that they wouldn't be staying with us and would do their own thing. Then he told me that he would be paying for them. I reluctantly agreed, telling him that I wasn't going to pay for their food or extra spending, and it was settled. When the day came for us to leave, I woke up late. My alarm clock had been turned off, even though I was sure I had set it. Nobody was home. The plane was boarding at the same time I woke up. I frantically tried calling all three of them, and each of their phones kept going into voicemail. I had an awful feeling, think Home Alone, and decided to check our Ring camera. Well, Home Alone didn't have a Ring camera, but you were lucky that you did. It goes into what I saw absolutely took my breath away. All three of them were walking.
Son was kidnapped.
You know, right? Yeah, honestly, that would probably be the better option. All three of them were walking out the door, suitcases in hand, laughing and joking about what a great vacation they were going to have. Matt's mom even mentioned that she couldn't wait for him to meet another girl that was going. Ugh. I called my travel agent and found out that they had transferred my ticket without my knowledge. In her defense, she didn't know it was me changing the name. And yes, I was charged for that too. I wasn't as surprised as I expected I should have been. I was more just ready to take action. As stated at the beginning of this, the house was in my name and mine alone. I immediately contacted my realtor and explained the situation to her, and we got to work. 2 days later, I got a phone call from him, profusely apologizing. 2 days later? He doesn't call her till 2 days later.
He probably thought she was in the back of the plane or something, you know?
Oh my word. How are you going to get yourself out of this? Like, how do you obviously think that's going to...
Maybe she got a different car at the, at the place.
Why would you leave her when you were all in the house together? It literally is... that's so funny. Not even funny. Okay, so 2 days later, I get a phone call from him profusely apologizing to me, saying that there must have been a mix-up somewhere along the line. They thought I was going to meet them at the airport. Lame excuse when I was in the same house? By the time they realized I wasn't there, it was just too late to turn back. Matt also told me that he's sure I've realized by now that he had my credit card to put gas in the car on the way to the airport, of course. And charges were no longer going through. Oh, charges were no longer going through. That's why he called. I told him that I had no idea what was wrong with my credit card. I had called and reported it missing, so of course they turned it off. I hung up with him after wishing him and his parents an amazing vacation. I knew he wasn't going to realize that I had also contacted my travel agent and canceled the return flights until they got to the airport to come back. So 2 weeks later, I was at home and received a call from him in hysterics, asking why their flights had been canceled. I told him that there must have been a mix-up somewhere along the line and wasn't sure. I figured since I wasn't there, they could pay for their own way home. He did end up transferring money from our joint savings to cover it, but whatever. 2 days later, he called me again, freaking out, asking why they were locked out of the house and wanted to know where I was. I didn't answer his first question, but told him I was at home. He seemed to momentarily relax and asked me to open the door for him. After going to my front door and not seeing anybody outside, I told him that I think he had the wrong house.
You're not there.
And hung up. My phone was being blown up by 3 of them, mostly him and his mom. I sent them all clips from the Ring camera, which I had saved and sent to my attorney, and the address to the storage unit where I had their belongings moved to when I sold my house. So wow, that was fast. 3 days after that, I had divorce papers served to Matt at a motel he was staying at with his mom and dad. I've been happily divorced now for 3 years. So when I'm thinking she took the house, it's in the end she just sold it and moved to another house. But that's
it's under her name.
I think that's very funny when he's like, "Oh, just open the doors," and she's like, "Huh, I can't see you outside."
I did. You're still not there.
Okay, so there is an edit to answer questions. For those asking how I didn't wake up that morning, I used to take Ambien the night before a big event or I wouldn't sleep at all. I no longer do that. My former travel agent transferred the ticket when mother-in-law called impersonating me. The agent refused to disclose the name the ticket was transferred to, stating it was against regulations. I was never about to find out the other woman's name. Mm-hmm. I was flying Frontier, and they did allow the ticket transfer, which cost me $75. My divorce didn't take 2 weeks to go through. I had filed for it that time frame. Matt was still single when our divorce was final 6 months later. The girl was nowhere to be seen. It makes me question how mother-in-law sees the women her son is with when she can't even refer to her as another woman. Next, a home can absolutely be sold in 2 weeks. So people were questioning how she sold it in 2 weeks. Especially if it's a nice home and she has a good price on it, it'll be taken within a few days of it being on the site. I didn't expect it to sell that fast, but I sure wasn't complaining. My realtor, a friend of mine and a godsend, is exquisite at her job and already had an interested buyer. As far as I know, I was able to move out so fast. 2 men in a truck are amazing, and I would recommend them to anyone in my situation. Hey, we actually have people that have used them. They're pretty good. Mm-hmm. They had me packed up and moved out in 2 days, as well as packing up my ex-husband and in-laws' things and moving them to the storage. Yes, I've seen him since then. At the finalization of our divorce, he asked if there was any way to work things out, and it wasn't his fault his mom had done all of that without his knowledge. Yeah, sure, buddy. That's how I know things didn't work out with the other woman. He must really think I'm stupid and didn't pay attention to the video. Anyway, Charlotte, thank you for hosting a place that we have as a community to share and exchange our experiences. You rock. Update, he did post his side of the story. As a commenter here has informed me, if anyone is interested, I guess everyone has their own perception of the truth. And hold on. I have the story. It was stood on the same one. So, this one's a little bit shorter, but it's called The Real Story Behind I Took My House With Me.
The real one.
It's the real story. Okay, it's clear that my ex, who I'm going to call Tragedy.
That's a good name.
Posted here and is fabricating details. She created a post called, I Took My House With Me. I knew right away that it was me that she was talking about. So here's what actually happened. She and I met and things were going great. We had a great dating life and I really thought that she was the girl of my dreams. That was until she met my mother. My mother is very protective of me and always afraid that I would settle for less than what I deserved. And I did eventually do that with Tragedy. The name.
It's so funny.
My mother was never demeaning towards her, only acted as what she lovingly considered herself, a life coach. She would give Tragedy advice on what clothing styles looked good on her and things that she should avoid. Tragedy would always get butt hurt when my mom gave her any advice. We had a small wedding, as she said, to be able to save up for paying up a house. Our wedding was okay. It wasn't the best, and my mom kept pointing out things that tragedy could have done a little bit different to make a great wedding on a budget. Unfortunately, tragedy took things the wrong way all the time.
Bad tragedy.
Yeah, such a tragedy. I told her that my mom had a point and she would get quiet and seemed upset, so I just stopped talking to her about it. I still had a great day, dancing and drinking with my friends and family. He makes it sound like it wasn't a wedding. He makes it sound like it was just a fun
tailgate party.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, yeah. There was dancing and drinking with my friends and family. It was a great time. Like, after the wedding, we both saved up for a house. It was a really nice house that I loved. My parents had given me a little bit of money as my wedding present. I didn't feel the need to tell her about the money since she made more money than I did and never acted like she needed money or wanted money. Shortly after buying our house, my dad retired from his job, so things got a little tight with their finances. Because of the money gift they had given me on my wedding, I talked to Tragedy about allowing them to move in, and she agreed to it, saying she didn't mind them living in the apartment behind the house until they could find their own place. We had gone through quarantining at home with my parents living in the unit behind the house, so by the time things were lifted, we really wanted a vacation. Well, that is when the things went south. The night before we went to Hawaii, Tragedy had taken a pill to help her sleep. I really thought that she needed the rest. Oh my gosh. She had been grinding every day at work and was on the front lines during COVID. AKA,
battle.
AKA, I guess you'd call her an essential worker or something like that. So yes, I turned off her alarm clock. And she really needed to sleep, and I left her a note telling her to meet us at the airport. Somehow, the note got misplaced, and she didn't make it on time. Well, my mom had booked a ticket for a family friend that was going to go with us. Everything was great. There was no other woman. Everything was great. Everything was great. But your wife wasn't there. Okay.
It was extra great.
Everything was great. There was no other woman. Tragedy decided she didn't want to fly out after missing the flight and stayed at the house. I had a great time with my parents and our family friend for a couple of weeks, but they never tell us who the family friend was, if it was a woman or a man.
Well, it wasn't a woman, so there's no other woman there.
I mean, if they can't tell us if it was a man, then it was a woman. That's all I'm saying.
He said there was no other woman.
He said there was no other woman, but he can't tell us if it was a man or woman. Okay. He just says, our family friend. For a couple of weeks. So they time with our parents and family and friends for a couple of weeks. When we got to the airport, they said that our tickets had been canceled, and I was at a loss as to how that could have happened. I ended up having to pull money out of my savings account, not out of Tragedy's account. If it's the joint account. Yes, it was our joint account. So I paid for the tickets for the return trip. When we got back home, I had already told Tragedy that I didn't want her to be at the house anymore. Wait a minute. I had already told Tragedy that I didn't want her to be at the house anymore. I guess I was just over things. So everything was great. Never mind. But you're over things now. The trip to Hawaii had really opened my eyes on what I wanted in my life and didn't want. Tragedy and I agreed that she would leave. She ended up moving all of my stuff and my parents' stuff out of our house as well and put it in storage. She didn't even have the decency to separate my belongings from my parents' belongings, and everything was just mixed into every box. 3 days later at a hotel, because Tragedy had put my house up for sale, put his house up for sale, and sold it while I was in Hawaii. I was served with divorce papers at the motel that my parents and I had to stay at due to the unforeseen circumstances of coming home without a place to live. I was going to file for divorce anyway, so I didn't care. She just got to it first, I guess.
Lucky.
Okay, I talked to a lawyer, and they said that because my name was not on the mortgage, I don't know how that happened. I thought we had both signed papers. I was pretty much out of luck, and the house had already been sold, so there was nothing I could do about it. I was still single and looking 3 years later for a woman I do not have to feel like I have to settle for. Oh, and I've read the comments. I never asked her to get back with me. She has been begging me to come back to her while we were on vacation, and I said no.
Oh, you tell her.
And there are 0 likes on this story. So, yeah.
It sounds very convincing.
Here, someone literally says, if you try to tell your side of the story to look better, sorry to tell you that you did the opposite. You need to find your way out of your mother's reach before getting a new partner. Your ex was right in everything. Who was it? He got a wedding gift, money, and didn't tell his spouse. And this life coaching? What the heck? He even let his mother ruin the wedding for her. What a piece of crap.
Piece of turd.
Yeah, seriously, all he's doing is proving her points. How can anyone believe such bad lies? Like, if you were going to lie, at least be good at it. I mean, that is true. If you're going to lie, at least be good about it. If you really want to be convincing, you got to be actually convincing. Oh, goodness, that was funny. I love it when there's both sides. It's so funny. I'll need to do an episode sometimes when I can find both sides of the stories. So that one's a good one. And we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to one of our r/best of Redditor updates. This is originally back in February 8th of 2023. And the title, let's see, it was originally found in, where was it? Oh, the original post was on Ask a Manager. And I think there's an actual subreddit. It's actually just known by this one person on Ask a Manager. She's like I think an HR or some kind of manager. She's like, and literally anyone ask her from like an employee point of view, they'll ask her like, is this possible? Can your job do this? And so she's got a lot of knowledge on basically manager HR policies on what can or cannot happen. So the story title is called, and this is from, a couple years ago, HR won't do anything about a coworker who's angry about my weight loss. So, I mean, why are we angry about weight loss? Okay.
3 sizes too small.
3 sizes too small. Okay. Okay. I just came back to work after a month-long emergency medical leave. So the TLDR is that after a decade of medical gaslighting, a new doctor ordered an emergency MRI during a routine visit and discovered a mass in my abdomen. I was rushed into surgery within 24 hours. I ended up having an 18-pound benign tumor pressing on my vital organs, and I was about a week away from multiple organ failure. I'm lucky to be alive, and time will tell if I am having any lasting organ damage. But right now, everything is fine.
Good.
Mentally, I'm struggling with a few things, but the only outwardly noticeable impact is that I've gone from a size 20 to a size 8. Wow, that is a huge difference.
You don't have an 8-pounder tumor in there.
Well, I know, 18-pound, but 20 to a size 8, like, that is a huge difference. So, yeah, I could see, like, people being like, wait a minute, we just saw you last, like, couple months ago, and you are definitely different. So, no. Anyways, nobody on my medical team anticipated a change this drastic, but I'm healthy and lucky. I was expecting to get a lot of questions from my coworkers because curiosity exists. I had a basic emergency surgery, but I'm fine now. Answer that almost everyone accepted, but one coworker who I hardly speak to. Aubrey.
Oh, Aubrey.
I know, we have a name. Okay, on my first day back to work, Aubrey came up to me and said, I wish you had to come to me to lose the weight instead of resorting to such drastic measures.
I agree. What a terrible thing.
You're going to gain it all back, you know. I'll be waiting.
Sorry, that's funny. I just sit there
I'll
and
be
like,
waiting.
like, are you okay? You can wait with me. Best friend I never talked to.
Right? Person I never speak to that wants to speak to me all of a sudden.
Hey, you talk? You talk?
So I was aware of Aubrey's reputation, but since we never worked together, I didn't think it would be an issue.
Oh, it is now.
She's one of those people who think they're a fitness expert and calls herself a health coach. Nothing to do with the company we work for. She has a reputation for giving out unsolicited and incorrect health advice and is always commenting on people's food choices. I was speechless when she asked why I opted to get butchered instead of putting in the hard work to lose the weight.
Because it would be fun.
There's nothing wrong with someone choosing surgical weight loss options, but that's not what happened to me, and I really resented her aggressive attitude, also spreading rumors.
I bet there's good ones.
During my second week back, she came by my office at the end of the day in athletic gear, offering to go with me if I was too afraid to go to the gym alone. At the time, I wasn't even cleared to lift my kid, do laundry, or climb a flight of stairs, let alone go to the gym with the crackpot. I don't remember what I said to her, but she left saying I'd gained the back weight because I'm lazy.
Ooh.
Goodness, this girl is spiteful.
You go, girl power.
The next day, Aubrey ranted angrily about me in a meeting I wasn't in. I missed it for a follow-up, ironically. I don't know everything that was said, but the gist was that sorry, I don't know everything that was said, but the gist was that if I can't dedicate myself to weight loss, I obviously can't see my work
obligation.
Yes, I can't see my work obligations through. HR called for a red flag mediation. At our company, mediation can go against your bonus opportunities for the year. I have no idea why I'm in a mediation when she's the one being a a-hole. But she says a hat.
Ahab?
No,
What?
a hat. Yeah. No, what is it? No, what is it? What is it? What is it? Shrek. I said hat. Language. What? I said hat. Okay, at the mediation, Aubrey stated that she was triggered by my new body, and I should have thought of other people's feelings and warned her before my surgery.
Yeah.
I hardly had time to warn my husband to get my kid out of daycare. I don't owe Aubrey anything. I have empathy that she's obviously struggling, but that does not excuse her behavior. HR said that while they can't ask me to explain my medical history, it might clear the air if I told her what kind of surgery I had and why.
No, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. I said I wasn't obligated to share my medical information with anyone and that Aubrey having a bad coping skills doesn't entitle her to a coworker's personal health information. Their response was kind of, well, then we can't stop her from bullying you. Which...
lawsuit.
I was going to say, like, HR said that? Goodness. Okay. After Thanksgiving, my doctor helped me put in ADA accommodation paperwork so I could work from home. I was having some mild complications from surgery, but also to avoid Aubrey. This company hates remote work, so they really were not happy. Aubrey still emails me with workout videos and diet plans, and when I forward them to HR, their response is, noted, do you know when you're coming back to the office?
Just block her.
It's like, literally, but she's an employee. So if she blocks her...
Not her employee.
No, it doesn't matter. She's a coworker. Sorry, not employee. She's a coworker. So she can't block her because what if she has work information?
Well, fine. Just don't look at her stuff if it has an attachment.
Yeah. And I love it how HR just literally just bypassed that, saying, okay, so when are you coming back? Like, you don't realize the whole reason why you got out was because this person's harassing you. All right. I've been thinking about it, about escalating this to corporate with an employment lawyer. Is that overkill? I'm still in a sensitive place after my surgery, and I have no energy for this, especially since Aubrey is fixated on weight loss, which was the primary way doctors gaslit me for years. I've been with this company for 5 years, and I'm just exhausted and disappointed in how they're handling this, and I want it over like yesterday. So update 2 happened 2 months later, April in 2023. All I have to say for this update is hold on to your banana pants. Ooh.
Okay.
I saw a lot of comments asking where management was in all this. So I'll address that first. My boss, George, was getting ready to retire when this was all going on. George is roughly my grandfather's age, so this entire situation bewildered both him and his replacement, who he was training at the time. Both of them met with Aubrey's boss because, believe me, I was documenting everything she did from the jump, and they all assured me that Aubrey would be dealt with. None of them recommended the red flag mediation. That was HR's idea. Man, HR seems like they're the problem. I was given details of the meeting where Aubrey ranted about me, and it was horrible. But apparently, Aubrey was asked to leave by her own boss while several other employees told her to stop. So managerially, that's a weird word. So management and, I don't know. So managerially, that's the word they gave me. And in the office in general, people were trying to rein her in from many different angles. HR is where the ball dropped, and dropped hard. This company just has a poor HR structure and a bad entry to mid-level HR. When Aubrey's boss referred her to the HR regarding her negative behavior, HR took it upon themselves to consider it a mediation situation, which, remember, at our company can go against your bonus for the year. Despite communication from George, his replacement, and Aubrey's boss saying that I wasn't in the wrong, when George found out about this, he spoke to the HR generalist manager, who said that my absence probably caused a lot of strain and extra work for Aubrey. What? When Aubrey's not even credentialed to do what I do. Management made a point to tell me how baffled and upset they were with HR's handling of the situation every time something came up. My company mentor was also a huge support during this time until she decided to take a job elsewhere. And they're paying them off, or they're running them out. That's what it looks like.
What they're doing to somebody else, they'll do it to you, so you might as well go.
I mean, I feel like Aubrey is the main denominator in all this that's causing the problems. Everyone else is saying you're not the problem, OP, but somehow they'd rather push all these other people out of the company to literally cover for this one person who everyone thinks is in the wrong. So I don't know, other than she's got friends in high places. I don't know. That's all I can think.
Just probably their fitness trainers.
Okay, now left and right and up and down and around. Okay. So when my doctor extended my ADA work from home accommodation a second time, HR responded by telling me that my attendance was a concern. I emailed their boss's boss, the HR director, and asked for clarification. He said I hadn't come into the office, so of course my attendance was a problem. I reiterated I had a medical documentation stating that if work from home wasn't available, then they could refer to the FMLA documentation my medical team also sent. He replied that medical documentation, including both FMLA and ADA reasonable accommodations, doesn't hold much weight with the company. I smell a lawsuit, like a major lawsuit in this. This is ridiculous. Okay, so that's when I got a lawyer. Aubrey, as a problem, kind of drifted to the background when HR started their medical documentation doesn't matter campaign. On my lawyer's recommendation, I contacted the HR executive team, which is where the whole cursed situation came to light. And I did check with my lawyer about emailing this update, and they laughed. And I said I couldn't leave people hanging after all that. Well, that's a news. You don't really see that with a lawyer. Okay, I called the chief HR officer, which for my company is going over like 5 people's heads. But I did it with George's and my new boss's blessing, who is the head of HR, and asked why my attendance was an issue when I had a reasonable ADA documentation. She had no idea what I was talking about, so I filled her in with all of it, including the mediation meeting and Aubrey's harassment and the HR director, her direct report, saying medical documentation doesn't hold any weight with the company. She was speechless and asked to meet with me and my lawyer as soon as possible. My lawyer hardly had to do anything during the meeting because the CHRO, Chief HR Officer, was horrified at everything I told her. I never actually seen steam come out of someone's ears, but if it was physically possible, it would have happened here. My lawyer didn't need to say a word, but just nodded and smiled with the chief HR officer offered an extended paid medical leave so I could handle my recovery and said Aubrey constantly sending me fitness plans would be dealt with swiftly. I didn't hear anything out of Aubrey for a long time, but I did hear, though, some gossip channels that the HR staff involved in the red flag meeting threatening to write me up were let go. Oh, so all the HR staff. My goodness. Yeah, yes, clean sweep. Do a clean sweep. Yep. They're all gone. They're all bad. Boom, get them out. Okay, Aubrey wasn't fired because they believed she was misled. Oh, sorry. So she wasn't fired because they believed that she was being misled by HR. So I understand that part, even if I don't agree with it. But she was on a tight PIP for a while, which I don't know if that means something. Look it up if you need to. I don't know. Then she showed up at my house. Oh. So now we move from banana pants to full-on bananas assemble. Or ensemble. Sorry. Is it ensemble? It's ensemble, right? Just keep going. Okay. I'm not good with my words. Okay. I'm still on leave, and out of the blue, Aubrey showed up at my door on a weekend with 2 other women in tow. And the commenters guessed it. She's in very deep with an MLM, or maybe a cult. I can't be sure at this point. Aubrey came over to demonstrate some workout techniques and give me some diet supplement samples and discuss a career opportunity because she was worried about my physical and professional health. She didn't make it past my mother-in-law, who has been a godsend right now. My mother-in-law made it clear where Aubrey could stick her demonstration, and they left in a hurry.
Where the sun don't shine.
Stick it where the sun don't shine. Mm-hmm. I notified my lawyer and the chief HR officer. Sorry, I want to say Cairo for some reason because it's Tro.
The chief.
The Tro.
Chiropractor.
I know. It says Tro, and I keep thinking Cairo. I don't know. And the chief HR officer, and suffice it to say, Aubrey is now a full-time wellness coach. So she definitely burnt herself a hole after that visit. I'm happy I went with my gut and got a lawyer because the company has changed so drastically over the last year with the toxic HR department encouraging behavior like Aubrey's and spreading false information about medical leave and time off. The company is almost unrecognizable. Also, with my boss and mentor both gone, I don't know if I'm going to go back once I'm medically cleared. The company is also undergoing a restructuring right now, and my department may end up distributed between other parts of the company or even other parts of the state. I have been looking at jobs and doing some resume drafting for a full-time remote position since it feels like it might be a better fit. But many thanks to comments and sections and all the support. So there is one final update. It's pretty short, but it's from, this is April, so it was like 3 months later in June after this. Mm-hmm. So I got an offer from a local company that's going fully remote with administration and management meeting up once a month. The salary was right, it's 90% remote, and it's a good fit, so I'm happy with it. My role is HR adjacent as head of payroll. I report to the COO and was hired by the CEO and the COO. I walked into our first admin meeting, and who is sitting across from me but the HR director who told me medical documentation doesn't matter and orchestrated my red flag meeting. Let's call him Bob.
Bobby.
Bob is the interim HR director for this company. Bob looked very uncomfortable when he saw me. We went through some employee files, including several who are on maternity leave and 2 who were injured on a job site. Bob got quieter as we began reviewing medical documentation and approving paid leave. I smiled and I looked at him in the eye every time and I asked, "And does Jill have her medical documentation?" "Great! Medical documentation holds a lot of weight. That's important stuff to have." He looked like he wanted to melt into his seat. At one point, he tried to argue against someone using their PTO to provide end-of-life care for a parent when they had ample PTO. I smiled and said, "You're right. Our employee support fund should cover half this time. It's a shame for them to have to lose all their PTO when they're obviously going to need it to heal and grieve over the next few months. Why don't you get me that paperwork for the support fund this afternoon? That's so generous." Everyone was happy and in agreement, so he looked like he swallowed a lemon, but everyone was like, "OMG, Bob, how thoughtful." He had to eat it so bad. He had to eat it so bad and got me the documentation an hour later. Bob can suck it. Bob is also only a contractor, so he'll be moving on soon anyway. Medically, I'm doing better and very happy to move on from where I was. Aubrey's been on full-on radio silence, which is perfect for me. Thanks, AAM team and the commenters. So the Ask a Manager team. So that was our story for that. Yeah. that was a crazy story. What do you think?
I think it's psychotic, but I know that people do that, so not surprised.
This is such a crazy story, and you're just like, oh my word, don't you have this? But honestly, working in the fields that we have, there are places that have awful management or HR teams that literally do nothing for you. And yeah, we've definitely both, I don't know about you. I just know there's places out there like that. So I definitely know this is very much a true story. I could definitely see this being true because I know there's places out there like that. So yeah, if you've ever had to deal with that, let us know. Let me know your story. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. So the next one we're going to have is also another Best of Redditor updates. This one is originally, it posted on it posted on one, and it was on Am I the A-Hole? The story is, or the title is, OP discovers, because this is someone else taking it in all the updates. Mm-hmm. Title is OP discovers that her sister put her niece up for adoption after she had her son. So, okay, so my sister had a second child, and we were all thrilled for her. She lives a few states over, and we haven't seen her this last year. She had one child 2 years ago with her boyfriend, and the other one was born last month. Yesterday, we had a family Zoom meeting to see the baby and say hi to my other nibbling. We get on, family starts to load in. Everyone is basically there thrilled to see the baby. We get to meet her new baby boy. After a bit, I asked to see my niece as well. My sister got quiet and very quietly said she doesn't have her. My aunt questioned this, and so I was also confused. After a few minutes, my sister said that in the beginning of January, she put her daughter up for a closed adoption because she couldn't care for 2 kids. Everyone lost it. The whole Zoom was a mess. We didn't know. We knew. We never got to say goodbye. She didn't even have to do this because any one of us would have taken my niece. I could have taken her. I've had multiple miscarriages, fertility issues, and although I am currently pregnant and I am stable, I own a home, and I have the resources to take in a toddler as well as having my baby. Important, my sister has always also said she wanted to be a boy mom. I lost it. I called my sister a narcissistic, bad word. See you next time. I asked her when she'd get bored of the next baby and get rid of that one too. I asked her how the heck she could do this without reaching out to family. I know my sister, and I know deep down she didn't want a daughter. She was depressed when she found out that she was having a girl, but thrilled for this entire recent pregnancy. I called her a monster for making children that she didn't want to take care of, like they were a novelty. I said some other things too. Oh, really? You said a lot. At this point, my grandmother is a complete mess and says that her chest hurts, so I stop. My aunt, who was with my grandmother, goes to help her and turns off the camera. My grandmother ended up having a panic attack that they thought was a heart attack at first. I'm so glad that she is okay. My sister has then since cut off all contact from the entire family. My father is pissed at me for blowing up. I was the only one who did, I guess. and says that I pushed her away. He said that he could have tried to convince her to reverse it, but my verbal lashing completely ruined any chance of getting my niece back. I don't think he understands what a closed adoption means. Also, adoption takes a minute, so for her to have it completed by January makes me feel like this process was in the place for a minute. I don't think there's any chance of seeing my niece again when the mother and father both signed her to be adopted. He's mad at me because now he's lost his granddaughter and is afraid he'll never know his grandson. My dad thinks I'm a butt for freaking out and nearly giving my grandmother a heart attack. I'm feeling guilty that my grandmother had such an extreme reaction, but I feel like there's more. That's more because she lost her great-granddaughter. Edit to update. I've contacted local CPS for my sister's area, local courts, and have a lawyer looking into it for me, starting tomorrow as I just obtained him. Looking into it. So thank you for helping, comments, pointing out the issues with this, especially thanks to those in social work who's reached out to me privately. I didn't realize how many options I had to fight this or to see if it was legal. I'll update when I find more out from the lawyer. Lots of people commenting that this is fake. I really wish it was. This has been a nightmare. Thank you again to those with helpful suggestions and feedback. So, final update. I am pursuing legal custody, and due to this, I will not be providing any more updates. My lawyer recommended this. The kids come first. I can say a few things. One, they found her, the niece. The adoption process started a year ago in silence as a private rehoming. It was explained to me that we could fight it as they skipped steps in the process, which is very sketchy. Number two, my sister told me they had no family, or the family that she does have is abusive. There was abuse on our mother's side, but they were long dead now. 3, there's an open investigation into my sister already for her son because of the way she surrendered custody of her daughter. 4, I'm going to temporarily move into an apartment in that area so that I am close in case CPS takes custody of my nephew. It was explained that this was the only way I could actively fight for custody by being available and close. Now, there is basically another update to this. It's just a new post that OP has written. But what do you think so far?
Sad.
It is sad. I mean, when I read this, it's just so heartbreaking how someone could do that. They had so many family. I don't know how she thought going on Zoom, seeing her family with her baby, how she was going to pull this off, thinking they weren't going to ask about her daughter. And it's people like that out there that it's just extremely, extremely sad and hurtful for people to do that. She had so many family members that could have taken, if she was struggling, if she was truly struggling. I don't think she really was. I think she was being selfish. But if she was truly struggling, any one of her family members would have taken that girl. And she did not want to involve any of them, which is just baffles my mind. She did not want them knowing or being a part of her life while she's not in there. And I think that's extremely selfish. It's really hard to know that there's people out there like that. You just want to go straight to the update? Okay. So, there was someone, they said, thanks to this person, one of the other users, it turns out that she may have some kind of update to this mess because she made another post. The post is titled, my mother-in-law just informed us that she has a full-blown nursery for our baby and I'm unsure on how to react to it. So this is kind of more on her own personal life, but it does mention about the whole mess that we just read about. So I'm unsure how to react to this new information. I am 6 months pregnant with my first after multiple losses. My mother-in-law just informed my husband that she wouldn't be getting anything for us for the baby shower because she's setting up her own nursery. She's using this old crib, which my husband originally thought we would get. I'm fine with not getting his old crib. I'd rather buy a new one. We may be getting custody of my sister's children as well, and my mother-in-law made it clear that they wouldn't be welcomed, but she had a room for my future child. She sent pictures and her nursery is almost completed while we didn't start ours. Honestly, it's gorgeous. We just bought a house and we were saving for the possibility of taking my sister's children first. We aren't going out all out on the nursery. We are being frugal and mindful with it. Meanwhile, she clearly spent thousands of dollars already. It's just odd that she's doing a full-blown nursery, and I'm a bit confused as to why she's doing this. She doesn't talk to me much, so she doesn't know. She doesn't talk to me much, so she doesn't know I plan on exclusively breastfeeding for a bit and attachment bonding. Frankly, I didn't think my child would be spending the night till after 6 months. I'm unsure on how to react to this. And someone had commented to OP's thing, assuming your sister's kids might be in your custody, OP also stated in the comments, so this is OP, assuming okay, I don't really know. Assuming your sister's kids might be in your custody, they'd be raised as or nearly as siblings, correct? So this is someone commenting. Imagine how grandma wants that one, but the other ones can't come over. That plus you are going to be attaching to your own baby via breastfeeding and all that. She can't breastfeed for you, nor are there plans to enable her. If you do choose to put your baby on formula, that's not necessarily bad. I just wouldn't tell her. Blended families are always complicated, and her cutting out these other kids shows she's not up to a blended family, which is the way that yours will be. And OP had responded, yes, chances are we will be getting them full custody. I'm not okay with how she's been treating the expansion of our family. She's a first-time grandmother as well, and she's already rejecting the other 2 kids we will have. I don't want them growing up thinking they are less than the youngest child simply because of who birthed who. I want them to feel equally loved and respected. I'm going to bring them up to my husband as a major concern. So the good thing is, with the story, we do know that there's a good chance that she will be having custody of these 2 kids, which thank goodness she's going to get both of them, because after what her sister did, she shouldn't have her baby boy. She shouldn't. No offense, but OP kind of said the truth. What makes you think that once you have another baby, you're not going to be growing old of this one that you have? It's just, that sister really needs help, honestly. I don't know if she'll ever see her babies again, but she definitely needs help before she can go anywhere near them. And yeah, so thank goodness, OP, for you stepping up, like literally on the spot to taking those, and your husband being so open and willing to do it as well with open arms. That is amazing support that these 2 kids will have in their lives, that their auntie will definitely become literally their mother. So that is an amazing story to know that you're going to get custody. That's a great ending for this horrible start of the story. But I'm sorry, this was a hard one. So it was just so big and influencing, and I didn't think when I put it in here, but so I know that if anything happened with our family or just a friend, if we knew something was happening to their kids that they couldn't keep, we would step up.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I've always thought of fostering or adoption in the future, or if it ever fell into our laps, if there was an opportunity for someone to be in a family and they wanted to be close, like with siblings, I know we would step up. And it'd be hard, but it'd be worth it for these kids. And so I definitely want to tell people out there that adoption is amazing. Do not always think that kids need to stay with the families that they were born in, because if the situation comes up that they are better off with other people who are going to love and take care of them better, then that should be how it goes. These kids out there need to be loved and taken care of and treated well, as like literally kids with parents should, wholeheartedly, 100%. And I encourage those out there, especially, and I want to put a word of encouragement to those who are actively trying to adopt. We appreciate you guys out there. And we thank you guys for putting your lives out there, sacrificing things that maybe you were wanting to do to be open and be willing to take kids in. So, yeah, that was kind of more of like an appreciation to those out there. So I'm going to put a shout out to those that are trying to adopt or have adopted. You guys are amazing, and let people know that it should happen more. So we're going to do one more story. And it might give you a reaction. Okay, so this is also from Am I the A-Hole from 2 years ago. The title, you should tell me what you think what the title is, what you think if they are an a-hole or not. Am I the a-hole for leaving a fake positive pregnancy test in the bedroom to catch my husband's mom snooping?
I think that's weird.
So not a straight up yes or no.
I don't know. I wouldn't do that.
I wonder why.
I just put a camera.
I don't know if she wanted to put a camera in her room, but...
Well, it's her own room.
That is true.
It's not like she's put it in somebody else's. It's her own room.
I don't know. Maybe she didn't have it. She needed to think quickly. So.
Or kick the mother-in-law out.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
Okay. So, my mother-in-law moved in with us a month ago. Oh, she moved in. That's probably why. We got problems.
Yeah, there you go.
So I began to notice my stuff in the bedroom being touched, furniture rearranged, stuff moved, etc. I felt like I was going crazy because my husband is the only one who has access to the bedroom, and he doesn't usually touch nor come near my things. I figured it must be his mom walking in and snooping on my personal things. I told my husband, and he said his mom would never. I had a huge hunch. Yeah, right? She shouldn't. But I had a huge hunch, but couldn't install a cam in the bedroom to catch her in the act. So she couldn't. So I think she was thinking the same exact. She thought the same exact. Well, at least she had the same idea, but for some reason she couldn't, which I respect, because if she couldn't, there's probably a good reason why.
Okay. Her to plug it in.
So I got me one of those fake positive pregnancy tests. Just look on. I need a positive pregnancy test. Who can give me one of those? Amazon. Make it Prime so it comes in the next day. So I got one of those fake positive pregnancy tests and threw it in the bedroom's trash can. Note, the trash can was placed in the corner near the closet. Literally the next day after I got to work, I got tons of calls and texts from my in-laws congratulating me for my pregnancy. My husband came over to my workplace and was all worked up about it, asking when I was pregnant and why I didn't tell him.
Well, she's an idiot.
Oh, OP?
Yes.
Yeah. No, how could you not think this was going to cause a reaction outside of the family?
She's an idiot.
Okay, so I asked him how he found out, and he said that his mom found the positive test in the trash can in the bedroom. I asked if his answer just confirmed that she's been snooping in the bedroom all along. Okay, there could have been so many other things she could have done before having a positive pregnancy test in there. Like, that's like messing with other people's heads now and getting them all hopeful. So, okay.
Whatever.
Okay, so I asked if his answer just confirmed that she's been snooping in the bedroom all along. He had a realization moment, but demanded we stick to the bigger issue. I said there was no bigger issue because the positive test was fake, and this whole thing was done to expose my mother-in-law's snooping. He was not convinced. He had me take an actual test right in front of him, and he was livid, asking how I could lie about such a thing and break my mom's heart, since I know very well that she longs for kids. I got a lot of crap because of this from him. His mom and family now calling me a liar and a manipulator. Am I the a-hole?
Well, she did. So, I mean...
Important info. Nothing gets takes or goes missing from the bedroom, just to be clear. So nothing gets taken or goes missing. She doesn't take things. She just knows that she's moving things around.
Yeah, so she couldn't be an adult and talk to her about it?
Well, yeah. Like, why do you have to sneak? She's living with you. Can you not run into her and be like, hey, have you been in my room? Because I know this was here. Or, yeah. I mean, okay. I will say, the mother-in-law just blabbering to everyone. Like, what if they wanted to keep it a secret? The test?
I don't care. I'm going with the first person.
Well, no, you're right. I would say...
Should have just told her that if you're going to my room, get out.
I don't want to say...
Simple.
I don't want to say she's the a-hole as much.
She's an idiot.
Okay, she is an idiot.
She's an idiot.
I don't know if she's an a-hole. She is an idiot. I think everyone sucks here. That's like, I think, the case scenario. Everyone sucks here.
I don't care. She's still an idiot.
She kind of went from literally ground zero to extreme within seconds. Like, instead of just going and talking to the mother-in-law, you first went to the husband saying, I think she's been doing this. And he's like, no, she wouldn't. And then instead of just going to the mother-in-law and literally talking to her, she just goes into, well, I'm going to plant this little seed and see if something happens. And yes, something did happen. Everyone is now congratulating you on your pregnancy that you didn't tell anyone because you're actually not pregnant.
You wanted a... category to put this. You should put when morons make a plan.
I should put that down. When morons make a plan.
When morons have a light bulb moment.
The light bulb moment.
Oh, this would be a good
bulb.
idea. Everyone's mad at me.
Okay, so a couple comments from the top. Not the a-hole, but ordering a lock for the door and kicking mother-in-law out seems easier. Yep. If you were pregnant, how dare she announces it? So many red flags. One of you needs to go and get, and it shouldn't have to be you. So, I mean, I would say if she was actually pregnant, the bad thing is she wasn't. She purposely tricked everyone because she wanted to do this weird way of proving the mother-in-law.
Have this stupid idea, at least include your husband.
Well,
Dummy.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, I have this idea. I'm going to pretend that we're pregnant. What do you think?
Because I feel bad.
How about we use our brains
yes,
and just talk like normal?
Is husband a little bit of a mommy's boy? Maybe.
I don't care. I would be ticked off like
But no, I would never, I could never go along with literally planting that seed, knowing that if mother-in-law was snooping, she's going to tell people. So, yeah, I would be so upset if, like, my spouse had...
You got a snooper, you got a talker.
Oh, my word. So, yeah, I honestly think I don't think OP handled this correctly because, yeah, I think it's a mess. Now, everyone's congratulating on something that's not real. Your husband found out that you have a pregnancy and he's like, why didn't you tell me? And you're just like, oh, well, it's not true. And that would frustrate me. Like, a pregnancy news is a big deal. So, I just think so I feel bad for the husband because now he's like, are you serious? Did you seriously do this just to prove that my mother's snooping?
When morons make a plan.
Next comment down is, seriously, in no way, shape, or form is she entitled to announce another person's pregnancy. Yes, we all know that, people. But she wasn't pregnant because she purposely wanted to fool the mother-in-law to literally catch her in her lies. But it wasn't good because it affected the husband.
Wasn't good because she's an adult.
Right. The thing is, you should just go and talk to them. Now you've meshed with your husband and he won't trust you now because he's going to think, well, if you are pregnant, are you telling the truth now because you didn't do it last time? And now the family's going to have to be told that you're not pregnant, and the mom too. And yes, is the mom also an idiot? Yes. Honestly, the mom she does not need to be in people's spaces, especially if it's your own house and she's living with you graciously without probably paying or anything. But a simple conversation could have done. Now, I wonder, OP, if you're thinking, well, she is the kind of mother-in-law who definitely would never admit to anything. Well, then you need to sit her down. And like you said, I don't know why a camera couldn't be put in, but a camera should have been put in.
Well, my first suggestion is honestly just talk. Not that hard, but if you can't do that, then put a camera.
Well, if you've talked and you're not getting anywhere with it because she's not admitting to it and you don't have proof, then, like you said, there is other ways. And you could have put something in there that wasn't as drastic as you being pregnant.
Put a trash bag of poop or something.
Well,
Like,
she could have. She could have been like, if they had a dog, like put the dog's poop in there or something.
Pooped on the bed.
Or she could have like had a note that's like if something you would put like, I don't know, a note, something on a sticky note that was saying something that she probably wouldn't want other people to know. That's totally fake.
I think I think all of it's bad ideas. Should just talk to her.
Well, yeah, honestly, yeah. Just stop with the shenanigans and literally stop getting around the point and just get to the point.
But a bag of poop's funny.
But what is with, we always have to add poop to things. Because it's funny.
Snoopers with poopers.
Snoopers with poopers. That's what I should put. Snoopers with poopers.
No, I like better when morons make a plan.
When morons make a plan. Okay, that will be our thing. Okay, guys. Well, I will say the general consensus for this was not the a-hole. Which, okay, I think everyone kind of missed the point because they're saying...
I did miss the point.
No, not... I'm just saying, not everyone's going to agree, but I will say everyone's looking at the wrong end. They're all saying the mother-in-law shouldn't tell anyone about someone's pregnancy unless the people want them to know. But the thing was, she wasn't pregnant. And yes, if she was pregnant, that would have been horrible. That would have been horrible for her to do because no one wants anyone to know the pregnancy until they're ready.
Doesn't matter. Should have talked to her
first. But because she went through this deviously and with a plan of faking the pregnancy and then not even letting her husband in on it, like now you're messing with him and that's disrespectful right there. You're now... He's not going to have trust in you because you went behind his back to do this plan. That honestly just puts you in a bad light. Now everyone's going to look at you because you faked a pregnancy. Who fakes a pregnancy unless they're not right in the head?
Morons.
And I'm not saying anything, no shade to you, OP. Really, I know maybe...
all the shades.
Okay, shut up.
All of them. Every color.
I'm trying to be the devil's advocate here.
You're not. Sounds like you're helping her.
Or maybe... No, I'm not helping her. I'm just saying, I know you probably were thinking there's no other way.
She is.
There was another way.
Dummy.
You needed to calm down. You just really wanted to catch her in the act. This is what she wanted to do. She wanted to go, Nana, boo, boo, I caught you.
Like I said, should have been an adult.
See, that's being a child right there.
Should have been an adult.
That's immature, and you're married, and you have a husband who, yes, I know you've talked to before.
Oh, no, she may not have one now.
Yeah, there's no update, so I don't know. That was the only story, and that was from 2 years ago. So who knows what happened to that marriage. But I will say, OP, there were other ways. More mature and settled ways, and it could have taken a little bit longer to get through, but there was other ways. So I will say, I don't agree with this. I think everyone sucks. Because the mother shouldn't have been doing the things she was doing anyways. The husband, I don't know. I don't think he sucks. I think he just wasn't convinced yet. And you, OP, you just went things the wrong way. And you took a dumb turn to do it. And now it puts you in a bad light. So everyone's going to look at you in a bad way. I don't know if you care about that, but you might lose your husband over it if we ever got an update. So, okay. Sorry, that is the stories that I had today. I hope you guys all enjoyed them. But I will say, yeah, when morons have a plan, does kind of ring up a bell. And
it's brilliant.
Yeah, the only one I will say, well, okay, yeah, I was gonna say the one with the house. OP had a good plan. It was probably.
The mother-in-law and the kid.
It's the ex-husband and the mother-in-law.
Morons make a plan.
When they plan to leave her basically behind on a vacation. Yeah, that was a bad plan. Plan. I will say when morons make a plan, thank you, my wonderful husband, to come up with my theme for the day. Isn't he great, guys? Give him a round of applause.
Bunch of degenerates, those people.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any stories of your own, or ever want to just comment, send us well wishes, the happy holidays are coming, you guys can email us at theredditrandos@gmail.com. You guys can also like, subscribe, or rate us on any podcast, platform. Thank you. Platform to just keep us in your notifications. That way you guys can keep listening to us every week. So, again, if you think you should be called the randomites or the randomizers, also put that in the comments and see which one sounds better to you guys. But anyways, have anything else to say?
Nope. I said
No.
my piece.
Okay, well, I guess this will come out the week of Thanksgiving for us. So we'll just see you after. We'll talk to you guys again after Thanksgiving. But happy Thanksgiving in the U.S. I should say in the U.S. So happy Thanksgiving to my U.S. people for this week. And happy normal, wonderful fall into winter days to the rest of my wonderful people. And we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.